Humans and animals share a special bond that never dies, even if they get lost or separated. What happens when lost animals stray back into their owners' lives unexpectedly? Join us as we showcase rare clips of animals reuniting with their owners after years. Marine reunites with military dog. Watch as this ex-Marine and his best buddy reunite after being apart for years. The military dog named Attila just retired from active service, and what better way to spend your retirement than with the friend you made along the way? Lioness excited to meet the man who rescued it. When Chiara the lioness met her adoptive dad, Adolfo, who raised her as a cub, the excitement could not be contained. Watch as she drops her whole body weight on the man and licks him like a kitten. Former lab chimps reunite with their rescuer. After 25 years, these two former lab chimpanzees still recognize their rescuer, Linda, who helped them transition to a normal life. Check out their emotional reaction as they hug and kiss Linda like an old friend.
Oh, yeah.
Airman reunites with military dog. After spending 2 years in officer training, Officer Baker finally reunited with his furry companion in 2022. You could see joy written all over the canine's face as he licks the airman's face and moves in for some belly scratches. Baby elephant hugs the caretaker. This 2-week-old elephant in Thailand has gotten emotionally attached to her caregiver, Allie. Watch as she surprised Allie with a hug out of nowhere, cuddling and snuggling up to her. Rescued lion hugs owner. In 2012, Valentine rescued a lion cub named Sirga. Years later, Sirga gives Valentine a warm hug to show appreciation, while purring like a little kitten. Unusual hippo and human friendship. Humans generally avoid hippos in the wild. They're quick, powerful, and every encounter can result in fatality. But sometimes predators can become friends. Check out this unusual friendship between this hippo named Emma and the man who rescued her when she was just a week old. Dog finds her family again. After escaping from the family home through a door left open by a pet sitter, Ashley was found on the streets and taken to a shelter. Because she had no microchip or tag, finding her was almost impossible. Watch how she reacts when her family finally locates her in a shelter. Kangaroo hugs woman who saved his life. After meeting the woman who saved her life, Abby the kangaroo couldn't contain her emotions as she gave her a long, warm hug. Black leopard reunites with owner. At first glance, this black leopard seems to be attacking this woman. However, that's not the case. It turns out the leopard was just overwhelmed with joy after seeing her rescuer following a long absence. You can tell they have a really strong bond. Only in Russia. In Moscow, this huge bear was caught on camera hugging its owner by the open window. You can also see him licking his face and putting his arms around him. Baby goat reunites with owners. After being rushed into emergency surgery, this baby goat named Talus finally reunites with his owners. Lost cat comes back home. Watch this cat mom jump and cry when her furry companion appears on the doorstep after straying away for weeks. While the owner expressed her emotions at the reunion, the cat seems unmoved by the whole situation. Monkey freaks out after reuniting with foster parents. This chimp could not let go even for a second after meeting its foster mom and dad after a long time. The two owners had rescued the ape after its own mother rejected it because it was born with pneumonia. The emotions on its face are priceless, and you can tell they share a very deep bond. Emotional final moments. After taking care of this chimp named Wunda, animal rescuer Jane Goodall has to say goodbye. Before disappearing into her new habitat, Wunda hugs the woman tightly like an old friend, and only fate will determine if they ever see each other again. Polar bear warms up to a family. This adult polar bear was raised by this man named Mark Dumas and his family since she was a cub. They share a very unique bond, as she jealously protects them from outsiders. Watch as she purrs like a cat when the man is near. Dog reunites with real owner. After 2 long years, this stolen dog is reunited with his real owner. You can see the initial hesitation and excitement as he finally recognizes the scent of his true best friend. Man reunites with dog after long stay at the hospital. Following a health emergency, this guy had to go to the hospital for a long time, but after he returned, his dog couldn't recognize him at first. You could see him barking and staying away. But as soon as he was able to sniff him, he realized this was his long-lost owner and could not contain his excitement. Do you remember me? This animal keeper just reunited with his pet African cheetahs after being absent for a whole year. You can see the excitement on the faces of the big cats as they lick and cuddle with their old owner. Man uses a live cheetah as a pillow. This man managed to make friends with an African cheetah after taking care of the big cat since she was a cub. They sleep together every night, and he measures the big cat's heart rate with his head. You could call it the fastest pillow in the world. Beluga befriends a zookeeper. Watch as this beluga whale gushes up to the cute zookeeper. Every animal has a favorite human, and it's obvious that these two get along pretty well. Look how happy she looks as he pets her. German Shepherd doesn't recognize soldier. After returning from an assignment in Kuwait, this soldier meets her dog, who doesn't recognize her at first. You could see her barking at the lady, before finally sniffing her and realizing who she was. Watch how she starts running around the house out of excitement. Owner finds dog after tornado. After a heavy tornado destroyed half of the town, this dog mom went looking for her pet. She eventually found him hiding under a trailer, too scared to come out. After calling for her for a few minutes, the dog finally came out as the owner plants a kiss on its forehead. Man finds his best friend after a storm. It was the same tornado that took away this dog that also scared this man's pet away from the house. The man's house was destroyed, and the pet was all he had left. You can see the tears in his eyes as the dog suddenly turned up at the house.
I didn't know.
Shelter dog meets owner after years of absence. This dog ran away from home and eventually ended up in the shelter. Her family searched everywhere for her, but they couldn't find her for 3 years. Check out her reaction when she realized that this man was her long-lost dad. Bull recognizes its caregiver. At this event in Mexico, this bull charges around in the empty barricade. Dozens of spectators gather around to watch him. But then he suddenly recognized one man among them. The angry bull suddenly became calm as he was approached by the man who fed him. Rhino is reunited with an old friend. This wild rhino was raised by this old ranger. He rescued him and took care of him for years. But after a while, the rhino had to be released into the wild. Watch the rhino and its keeper greet each other like old friends as they meet in the reserve once again. Jupiter meets his human mother. Jupiter the lion had been far away from his mother for a very long time. Imagine the excitement in her heart as she hugs the caregiver like a child hugs a mother. Pet elephant visits old man in the hospital. After being stuck in the hospital for a long time, the old man's pet elephant came around to say hi. The man had taken care of the elephant since it was a baby, but now he was sick, and this visit seems more like a final goodbye. Cat welcomes soldier back from war. Watch as this cat paces around the house as he waits for his owner to walk in through the front door. The man had been away on assignment for months, and his feline friend was dying to see him again. Check out what happens when he finally recognizes the soldier. Bear having breakfast with owner. Sharing a meal with pets like dogs or even cats isn't too unusual. But what happens when this pet is way bigger than these normal pets? Check out this woman's pet bear as they both have breakfast on the same table. Wild gorilla meets rescuer. This animal caregiver single-handedly raised this gorilla from its very young age. But after a few years, he was forced to give her up to the wild. Watch what happens when they finally meet. Derek and his elephant. The special bond between this man and an elephant will warm your heart. No matter where he is, no matter how much he tries to hide, the elephant always finds him as soon as he calls his name. It comes running, saving him from the waters and making sure he's okay. Giraffe warms up to a woman. This giraffe has formed a special bond with this woman, and you can see him warm up to her as she pets him on the head. Golden retriever welcomes owner back home. This cute dog could not contain his excitement when his owner, Ryan, finally returned after a very long trip. You could see her wagging her tail and running at the door just before it opened. Dog welcomes owner back from a trip. This golden retriever has been missing his owner since he embarked on a trip. Imagine his excitement when his human friend casually walks into the room. Princess's personal butler. Watch this dog give the little girl a princess treatment as he welcomes her home every single day. As soon as the bus arrives, the dog shows up, collects her bag, and leads her into the house. Pleasant surprise for a soldier returning home. When this soldier came home for his last deployment in 2014, his parents had the biggest surprise waiting for him. On their way to the airport, they brought his dog along, and you can see the joy on both their faces as they reunite. A warm welcome. These two golden retrievers welcomed their dog mom back home with so much excitement. We don't know how long she was gone for, but it's quite obvious she was really missed. German Shepherd reunites with owner. This dog's owner has been away for a very long time, but after he suddenly came back from his trip, the dog couldn't hold itself together. Cat meets its human. This guy was chilling around the house when his runaway cat finally came back home. With as much excitement as you'd expect from a cat, she walks up to the human. The big cat in the room. Check out this family who adopted a massive tiger to come live with them like a regular person. The polar bear whisperer. Polar bears are dangerous, strong, and extremely cute and cuddly. Ask this guy who formed a strong bond with a polar bear and get a heartfelt cuddling session everywhere they meet. Orphaned baby bear. Meet Boris, the baby bear who got orphaned by hunters and has now become emotionally attached to the man who rescued it. Although powerful enough to hurt the rescuer, Boris clings onto the caregiver with love and gratefulness in her eyes. Water snake befriends man. They call her Big Bertha, and she's as big as they come. But the water snake has developed an unusual friendship with this local man. Watch them spend time together like two long-term friends. Elephant reunite with old caregiver. 35 years ago, this man worked as an elephant trainer in Germany. Decades later, the two create this emotional reunion as they meet again like old friends. Elephant herd salute the humans. After wildlife officials rescued a baby elephant from a ditch in Kerala, India, the elephant herd could be seen acknowledging the rescuers. They bowed in reverence and made sad sounds before they turned and left. Heartwarming reunion between elephant and vet. Imagine the excitement on the face of this elephant as he meets the vet who saved his life 12 years ago. The two shared a moment of intimacy as the elephant appeared to express his gratitude. Elephant meets trainer. They say an elephant never forgets, and they sure don't. Check out this former circus elephant reunites with her trainer after 15 years. She runs toward him as soon as she sees him, and soon lays on the ground for belly rubs. Elephant recognizes caregiver. Daphne Henkins was an animal preservationist who took care of wild elephants in Kenya. After getting separated from the gentle giant, she appeared in the forest one day. Watch how the elephants react after seeing her. Elephant falls asleep to keeper's song. In a shocking case of Beauty and the Beast, this caregiver seems to have captured the affection of this massive elephant. Every time she sings, the elephant lies down on the ground and falls asleep. Elephant protects its owner. Have you ever wondered how animals like elephants form strong bonds with their caregivers? Watch this massive behemoth demonstrate care for her keeper and show her overprotective tendencies. Elephant herd travel to mourn caregiver. We know elephants mourn their dead. But how about this herd of elephants that traveled for miles to mourn the man who once took care of them? They stayed beside his house for 48 hours before they left. What's even more amazing is that they come to the house to pay respect on the same day every single year. Elephant recognizes keeper. In 2014, this keeper met an elephant in Surin, Western Thailand. She took the steps to get him released from his owner and roam free again. Now, many years later, the two meet again for an emotional reunion. Massive behemoth pays last respect. When its best friend and handler died, this elephant was left heartbroken. But luckily, he got the chance to pay his last respects just before the man was buried. Crocodile responds when called. It's not really clear why this man decided to adopt this huge crocodile, but for some reason the crocodile responds to the name Margarita and will come charging as soon as the name is
Margarita,
called.
come here. Why?
Is that a pet dinosaur? Check out this pet iguana that welcomes its owner home like a dog. Yes, it's a massive lizard, but it definitely also deserves some belly rub. Kangaroo rescued from the flood. Watch this kangaroo shake hands with the humans after he was rescued from being swept away. It also made some happy sounds that sounded like a thank you before sprinting away. Dean hugs a lion. Check out this crazy video of Dean Schneider carrying a whole 400-pound lion in his arms. Pet Cayman alligator. Imagine having a whole Cayman alligator as a friend. This man has had this pet all his life. They basically grew up together. Watch as they interact after being away for a little while. Wild shark reunites with human best friend. This is Emma, a wild tiger shark reuniting with her best friend, Jim. This unlikely friendship had been going on for 2 decades. But then, the two were cut off by the pandemic, until now, when they eventually set their eyes on each other once again. The man with the pet alligator. This man has had this pet alligator for over 30 years. They first met when he was just a young boy, and now the two have built a very strong bond over the years. Wild gorilla accepts keeper's wife into group. To the gorillas in the reserve, Damien Aspinall was family, but his wife was an unfamiliar face they had to warm up to. After a brief hesitation, the gorillas finally warm up to her and accept her as one of them. Dog cannot contain his excitement. Watch this puppy jump for joy after his owners finally return from work. Imagine coming home to this beautiful sight. Dog cries at a reunion. This dog couldn't help but burst into tears after meeting his owner at the airport. The soldier was on his way back from a long assignment, and you could see her face light up after seeing her furry friend. German Shepherd cries out of happiness. After a few months away from her owner, this German Shepherd could not contain her excitement as she finally reunited with her family. Dog excited to see family. When this pup discovered that Daddy and Mommy were now back home, she went completely crazy. Watch as she runs from one member of the family to the other, getting belly rubs all around. A furry welcome. On a cold winter night, this woman comes home to a whole family of dogs waiting for her at the door. German Shepherd welcomes Soldier home. When Daddy comes home, everybody in the family gets excited, but no one is ever as excited as the family's German Shepherd, who runs around the house and peeps over the gate, waiting for his arrival. When Daddy finally comes home, you could see the whole excitement explode. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.